Well, hello there, everyone. We're here doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today is lesson 160. I am at home, fear is the stranger here. And before I get into this, I just want to let you know, as the sun comes right out, I helped escort my dog over the other side of the veil, to the other side of the veil yesterday, and that was the first time I had ever done anything like that. It felt really emotionally charged and extremely intense as it was happening, but it really is the most compassionate thing for a human pet mom to do. And I just feel like I understand so much more about creation and how I'm creating the world around me by what happened yesterday. And I feel like also my capacity to love is like amplified intensely, because with her being free of her body, I really feel like she was a part of me, and I'm like reintegrating all these parts of me, and she was a big one, 14 and a half years of my life. So anyway, sometimes these lessons mean different things to different people. While for me, I almost feel like Mocha's telling me I am at home, fear is the stranger here. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with today's lesson, and I hope that you can find a really anchored meaning and purpose behind it for yourself. All right, so here we go. Fear is a stranger to the ways of love. Identify with fear, and you will be a stranger to yourself, and thus you are unknown to you. What is yourself remains an alien to the part of you which you think that is real, but different from yourself. Who could be sane in such a circumstance? Who but a madman could believe he is what he is not and judge against himself? There is a stranger in our midst who comes from an idea so foreign to the truth, he speaks a different language, looks upon a world truth does not know, and understands what truth regards as senseless. Stranger yet, he does not recognize to whom he comes, and yet maintains his home belongs to him, while he is alien now who is at home. And yet, how easy it would be to say, "This is my home, here I belong, and will not leave because a madman says I must." Okay, a lot of that was a little wordy and confusing, but I guess just read it again and see what you get out of it. What reason is there for not saying this? What could the reason be except that you had asked this stranger in to take your place and let you be a stranger to yourself? So I guess that's fear. You're inviting fear in, which is actually alien to your naturalness, and you're trying to figure out who fits and who needs to go. No one would let himself be dispossessed so needlessly unless he thought there were another home more suited to his tastes. Who is the stranger? It is fear, or you are unsuited. Wait, is it fear or you who are unsuited to the home which God provided for his son? Is fear his own, created in his likeness? Is it fear that completes and is completed by? There is no home can shelter love. There is no home can shelter love and fear. They cannot coexist. If you are real, then fear must be an illusion. And if fear is real, then you do not exist at all. How simply then the question is resolved. Who fears has but denied himself and said, I am the stranger here, and so I leave my home to one more like me than myself, and give him all I thought belonged to me. Now is he exiled of necessity, not knowing who he is, uncertain of all things but this, that he is not himself and that his home has been denied to him. What does he search for now? What can he find? A stranger to himself can find no home wherever he may look, for he has made return impossible. His way is lost, except a miracle will search him out and show him that he is no stranger now. The miracle will come, for in his home his self remains. It asked no stranger in, and took no alien thought to be itself, and it will call its own unto itself in recognition of what is its own. Who is the stranger? Is he not the one yourself calls not? You are unable now to recognize the stranger in your midst, for you have given him your rightful place. Yet it is yourself as certain of its own as God is of his Son. He cannot be confused about creation. He is sure of what belongs to him. No stranger can be interposed between his knowledge and his Son's reality. He does not know of strangers. He is certain of his Son. God's certainty suffices. Whom he knows to be his Son belongs where he has set his Son forever. He has answered you who ask, who is the stranger? Hear his voice assure you quietly and sure that you are not a stranger to your Father, nor is your Creator stranger made to you. Whom God has joined remain forever one. At home in him, no stranger to himself. Today we offer thanks that Christ has come to search the world for what belongs to him. His vision sees no strangers, but beholds his own and joyously unites with them. They see him as a stranger, for they do not recognize themselves. Yet as they give him welcome, they remember. And he leads them gently home again where they belong. Not one does Christ forget. Not one he fails to give you to remember, that your home may be complete and perfect as it was established. He has not forgotten you, but you will not remember him until you look on all as he does. Who denies his brother is denying him, and thus refusing to accept the gift of sight by which his self is clearly recognized, his home remembered, and salvation come. So I think a little point that could be missed there in that last paragraph, no one does Christ forget, not one he fails to give you to remember, that your home may be complete and perfect as it was established. He has not forgotten you. So I think here's the key point. But you will not remember him, which is really the Christ in you, until you look on all as he does. So there it is again. We think we see these other people, and we give ourselves permission to judge them, to have grievances, to hold resentments, to be jealous of them. Yeah, we need to look at ourselves there. Or else, fear will be the stranger in our home. It's kind of like you get to choose. All right, let's see what a year of forgiveness has to say about lesson 160. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. Oh, and look, I like this little, that picture. It's like, go, get on out of here, fear. Okay. All right. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. As you read this lesson, do you realize how often you are fearful? Do you not realize how many times you watch fearful movies or fearful television shows? That music they play, that suspenseful music intended to make you frightened, believe it or not, separates you from your knowledge of God. That is why we insist you stop watching violent movies, frightening TV shows, the news, and such. Every time you expose your consciousness to fear and it incites your heart and mind, you become more separated from love. You become more separated from that which you would call God, yourself. Today, we ask you to make a pact to no longer watch frightening and horrifying information. As you listen to the radio and hear about a local murder, turn it off. Do not subject your mind to hateful and fear-inducing information. When you turn on your computer or your television, if you still have one, you recognize the moment fear is incited in you. Would you choose to watch if you knew it caused you suffering? Would you watch if you knew that it actually separates you from your connection to the divine? Would you still listen? If you would, then you make an intentional choice. You use your free will to disguise from you your true nature and the love that is your natural inheritance. Be aware of what you use your free will for. When you go to the movies, are you driven by society's dictates? Do you watch movies in which hundreds of people are killed? Do you see movies about infidelity and fearful ideas about relationships in the opposite sex? Why do you want to watch this kind of information? Stop and ask yourself, why am I going to this movie? Is it because I have been seduced into believing the movie star is the be-all and end-all of my world? I used to feel that way about Angelina Jolie, by the way. I was pretty obsessed with her in all her movies. I don't worship Hollywood idols anymore, thank God. Ask yourselves these questions, dear ones. Fear is not your natural home. Love is. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. All right, so there you go. Lesson 160. Whew. I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.